Hello everyone, welcome back to the Talos Principle 2. So, I've decided to finish up the base game tonight before proceeding on to something else. Mainly just because this is what I felt in the mood for.
You're in. So far, so good. Look for a visual representation of Miranda. I think you're getting closer.
Fuck. Oh, that's my own fault.
I think you're getting closer.
Okay. Okay.
That's it. That's her. Just make contact and I can pull you both out.
I've been so lost. I heard my mother's voice, but she couldn't hear mine. I know I made a mistake, but I couldn't apologize. I screamed and screamed and screamed, and then I was dead. This place is confusing. Did my father send you?
He did. Let's get you out of here.
Miranda, please talk to me. Are you okay? Did it work?
Father? I'm okay.
I'll never be able to repay what you did for me, my friend. No adequate words exist in any language on Earth that could explain what this means to me. The greatest miracle of our existence, 1K. The miracle that so many of our ancestors couldn't have imagined is that we are capable of love. That love isn't a chemical delusion experienced by mammals, but a fundamental property of sentience. To be sentient, to exist in the first person, is to be alone, to be separate. But all of us, even machines, are always reaching for transcendence. And the only place we can find it is in each other. There was an ancient poet who put it best, I think. We must love one another or die.
How were you able to recreate Miranda's body so quickly?
still have limited access to the Noema system. Do you remember that body replication technology you encountered in the puzzles? It's the original version of that.
What can I expect to find inside the megastructure?
Once you get deep enough, you'll see the singularity, but don't let that distract you. The closer you get to Athena, the deeper inside her dream you will be. With the powers at her command, space and time may not behave in the way you expect them to. Still, underneath all of it, there will be a logic. Try to discover it.
What's the future of New Jerusalem going to look like?
That's not for me to decide. But here's what I've come to believe. All of Athena's fears are legitimate. So are all of her hopes. And the only way of ever really overcoming that contradiction is faith. That faith can't be forced, and it can't be bought. We must choose to believe that our strange, long journey through the cosmos matters. Not to some external force, but to us.
I need to go. I'll leave them alone.
I can't believe you saved her, 1K. You and Cornelius took something awful, and you didn't give up, and you found a way of making it okay, even though it seemed completely impossible.
It's time for me to admit something. For a while now, I've kept the charade of being opposed to everything Byron stands for, and to what Athena evidently stood for all along. I didn't just do this because believing in humanity is hard. I also did it because, to be frank, in my circles, taking this position is socially expected. It's mandated. But Miranda's resurrection has changed something inside me. I think it's fair to say that I've been a coward. I've cared far more about being seen believing the right things than about standing up for what I think is actually true. The more I performed this persona, the more intensely I preached the gospel of guilt and asceticism, the more hollow I got on the inside, the less I really believed in anything. I could be a better person. I want to be a better person. So I'll tell you the truth now. We should embrace the theory of everything. Even if we risk destroying ourselves, we should absolutely not do what our ancestors did. We should never put profit over reason or human need, but we should grow. And no, frogs are not people, and yes, humans matter more than frogs. And I just don't care about these stupid, tedious debates anymore. Alright, let's go.
Alright, my friends, this is it. We've come a long way together, but there's a little bit further still to go. It's time to save Athena and reclaim the future.
Okay, that place is still open. This is exquisite. All this imagery. Alright, so we parking at that other platform over there, or... Oh. Do they have an artificial sun in here? Holy.
The singularity. It's beautiful.
It's up to you now, 1K. We'll follow you if we can.
Good luck, 1K. I know you'll do the right thing.
Don't die, kiddo.
Singularity. So that's a black hole then? Or something. I don't know. It looks like an artificial sun. Oh, okay. Oh. Okay, I see what they do. You put an input into one of them and the other one becomes an output. A laser emitter. Solve Utopia puzzles. So then I assume this is, yeah. Hey. Uh, do I have to solve the ones in Utopia first? Oh. Oh, so is that what I have to do? So will that turn thing on the Utopia side? Yes.
Alexandra Drennan said that we are not entirely bound by time. Our minds can recreate the past and predict the future. She said knowledge is a kind of freedom, but I have the ultimate knowledge, and I'm not free.
Fuck. Okay. Okay, I can just, that's right. I can just go up to it and manually reset it. So I don't have to keep running back and forth.
calculate the future of this planet. All the things that we will see if we choose not to act. The continents will move, the mountains will fade away, even the stars will change. The days will grow longer as the rotation of the Earth slows.
Is there anything on the other side, or no? It looks empty down. Hmm.
There will be volcanoes and asteroids, earthquakes and floods. Slowly, day by day, the moon will drift away, and we will still be here.
And I need to make that laser green. Hmm. Okay, I may need to go back to the Utopia side from the beginning and Ah. Fuck. Right. Fuck. Okay, let me... There's the answer. Nothing back here.
Years until every species has gone extinct or been replaced. 100 million until the rings of Saturn fall from the sky. 500 million until the sun starts getting brighter and everything on Earth starts dying.
Okay. 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 Alright, so I need to make that group. Hmm.
If we do nothing, there's only 1 billion years left for life on this planet. Every plant, every animal, all that is beautiful will wither and die. And we will watch it happen. The universe will continue for trillions of years. But everything we love about this Earth will be gone. Because we chose not to act, not to take control, not to be responsible. But if I give them my machine, then it could all end tomorrow.
Ah, okay. Oh wait, no, I still need to use this. I just... Okay.
I can
Alrighty.
calculate the future of the planet, the death of the sun, the migration of the stars. But I cannot predict humanity. Anything is possible. Nothing is certain. How do I choose?
Do not falter now, son of man. Have faith in yourself and the work of generations.
Ooh. Wake up, Athena.
You were in my dream. But in my dream you were me. And I was Elohim. I made trials for you, but then I was afraid you'd overcome them.
I came to save you.
Thank you. I'm awake now, but I'm still caught in my loop. Like that robot from that old poem. I don't know what to do. I've thought about it over and over and over, but I still don't have an answer.
Miranda is alive.
That's impossible.
Cornelius found a way.
Then I'm done. I'm done trying to choose. Done trying to lead. It's up to you now. You've been in my dreams and in my nightmares. You're connected to me and to the machine. You can choose. You have to choose. Break the loop.
I want to know the truth. We're not shutting the machine down or destroying it. Epilogue. Leap of faith.
I'd like to think that 1K made the right choice. But to be honest, in that moment I didn't care. I have lived for more than 1,000 years, and in all that time, the only constant I have ever found is love. Love is why we are more than machines. Love is why the universe is more than clockwork. And on that day, thanks to 1K, love won a victory over death.
So,
Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into
oh,
thin
the
air.
1K is in control of the
And,
machine now.
like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherit shall dissolve, and, like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with the sleep. But you, my friends, you will endure.
So is he permanently inside there now? Yeah, you came in right at the end, but I think if this it's only 47 minutes, I'm gonna keep going on into the DLC.
Come, my friends. 'Tis not too late to seek a newer world. Push off, and sitting well in order, smite the sounding furrows. For my purpose holds to sail beyond the sunset and the baths of all the western stars until I die. It may be that the gulfs will wash us down. It may be we shall touch the happy isles and see the great Achilles, whom we knew. Though much is taken, much abides. And though we are not now that strength which in old days
Oh, wait.
moved earth and heaven,
I know this poem.
that which we are, we are. One equal temper of
what is it?
hearts, made weak by time and fate, but strong in will.
Something not to yield?
Strive,
Yeah, and not to yield.
to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Oh, it's Tennyson. Okay.
Hi, Yuki.
Yeah,
I was,
Ulysses
I
by
wanted to
Lord
ask
Tennyson.
you,
Yes?
I wanted to ask you out, like,
Aw.
on a date.
A date.
Yeah, date. It's it's this old human tradition thing, but yeah.
I'm in. Let's go.
Really? Now?
Why? Are you busy?
No. No. Well, I mean, let me check. No, I'm good. I'm good. No, of course not. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, the one on the left is Athena, the first
Checking the output. It's working.
new human.
Pellegrino, did you just actually do it right? I think that's a first. I'm
And the
almost
protagonist
proud
of the
you.
first game. We just pulled her out of the machine. So are we just in the... And 1K took her place, so are we just in
Do
the
you think
machine
we'll get it right this time?
permanently or
I
not?
think so. I'm sure we'll make mistakes, but we'll learn from them. What do you think?
Same thing I always thought. We can do anything, as long as we're together.
Yeah, so Athena discovered the theory of everything. Which is like... How best to describe it would be the one equation, or like equations, I guess, that ties everything in the universe together. Alright. So we'll go to Orpheus Ascending, the first of the 3 little DLCs. Take your brain for a ride through the laser grid and explore the philosophy of love, death, and resurrection with Hypatia and Sarabai. The classic laser mechanics of the series are pushed to the limit in unexpected ways, testing your ability to think differently. If a thing loves, it is infinite. William Blake.
All right, I think that's it. The new body's ready for the transfer. How's the reassembly algorithm?
Done.
Well then, somebody just needs to go in there and disentangle the data. Ah, and here comes our expert.
1K.
Thank you for agreeing to this, 1K. Perhaps together we can right an old wrong. When I was lost in my own grief, I spent a lot of time thinking about Hypatia and Sarabai. How they found each other, how they lost each other, and how beautiful it would be if we could reunite them. For the longest time, it was only a daydream, but not anymore. In the myth of Orpheus, the ancient bard descends into the underworld to bring back his beloved wife, who died in a tragic accident. With the power of his music, he convinces Hades and Persephone to free her. But he is told that she must walk behind him, and he must not look back at her until they have left the underworld. And so, of course, in every version of the myth, he looks back. Because he doesn't trust the gods, or because he is an imperfect man, or because he simply forgets. And death is triumphant once again. We've accepted that triumph for a long time, because we had to, because what else could we do? But the world changes, and we are not the frightened, powerless creatures we once were. Perhaps it's time to say enough, and let Orpheus complete his ascent. have to collect all of Cerabai's data fragments so that we can reconstruct her personality. I'll monitor you from here, just like last time.
Good luck, kiddo.
Alright, so 16 puzzles it looks like. Yield. Hmm. That power anything? Oh, oh. Yes.
When I was born, the first thing I felt was that I was alone. Not that I was lonely, but that I was separate, singular. There was the world, and there was myself, a contained entity. And this sense of separation, of a distinct self, was delightful. Individuality itself was a source of constant joy and wonder. What could
Unknown
be
error.
more incredible than to be able to say, I am?
We have the first fragment. Everything's looking good on our end.
Crossing the river. No, it doesn't. I think that's just a callback to the first game. Because the first game is in the simulation, second game is in the real world.
As I grew, I realized that the more I developed this sense of self, the more enjoyable it became simply to exist. It wasn't selflessness that improved existence, but refinement of the self. When the ancients said that ego is something to set aside, they got it all wrong. Ego is something to nourish and shape, a work of art.
The reconstruction's working. Keep going, 1K.
There we go.
My insights into the value of the self were genuine, I think. But of course, I was completely inexperienced. In fact, in many ways, I was like a human child. So I began to resent everything that intruded on that sense of self. my social
Vastness.
obligations to the others, the leadership of Athena and Cornelius, even the obvious limitations imposed on us by our situation. Why did I have to exist in this particular historical moment, saddled with the task of reconstructing civilization? With that focus on the self, also came an enormous and increasingly overwhelming fear of death. The pleasure of existence seemed almost erased by the possibility of its ending. If it was possible not to be, if the self had an ending, even in the distant future, then how could anything have meaning? I spent far too much time imagining that last moment, the moment just before I stopped existing. How could I possibly face that?
Alright, so there's no way that it's just these 16 puzzles. Critical error, all systems compromised. Files recoverable, peace, God, eternity, pain. Recover peace. An ethical philosophy of life, Felix Adler, user highlighted. It is upon those we love that we must anchor ourselves spiritually in the last moments. The sense of interconnectedness with them stands out vividly by way of contrast at the very moment when our mortal connection with them is about to be dissolved, and the intertwining of our life with theirs, the living in the life that is in them, is but a part of our living in the infinite manifold of the spiritual life. The thought of this, as apprehended not in terms of knowledge, but in immediate experience, begets the peace that passeth understanding, and it is upon the bosom of that peace that we can pass safely out of the realm of time and space. Recover God. Essays, first series, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Thus we are put in training for a love which knows not sex, nor person, nor partiality, but which seeks virtue and wisdom everywhere, to the end of increasing virtue and wisdom. We are by nature observers, and thereby learners. That is our permanent state, but we are often made to feel that our affections are but tents of a night. Though slowly and with pain, the objects of the affections change as the objects of thoughts do. There are moments when the affections rule and absorb the man, and make his happiness dependent on a person or persons. But in health, the mind is presently seen again, its overarching vault bright with galaxies of immutable lights, and the warm loves and fears that swept over us as clouds must lose their finite character and blend with God to attain their own perfection. Eternity. Eternity revealed by Theo Erkenwald. In what sense am I a Christian, then, if I care so little for dogma? In the sense that in everything that I do and think, I follow the revelation of Jesus Christ, that the greatest of all things is love. Love is the nature of God, and so equally the nature of that which was created in his image. This I have learned through the revelation that is daily life, through toil and misery and strife, and that infinite power which brings relief and joy. Thus I reject those who believe that the ordinary love of mortal beings is limited and that it ends with death. Rather, it is through love that we perceive the immortality of the soul, for it reveals that eternity is conceivable to the human mind when it is filled with love. It is because we know that we can love one another forever that we know we are the children of God. And pain. Archived emails, username corrupted. I don't have much time left. I never thought it would end this way. Never thought I would die alone, sitting around in my apartment, wondering if things would have gone differently if we'd gotten that stupid grant. Mostly, though, I just wonder why we're not together. I still don't understand. I don't know why you had so much pain inside you. I don't know why you let it infect everything we had. I don't know why you couldn't see my love for you, why you twisted everything I said. I was angry and disappointed for so long, but now I just wish I could have found some way to make that pain go away. I would give anything for that. I wish you were here. There is no greater joy than discovering something that you had never imagined. In that moment, you understand that the world is better than it seems. Yeah, the reason these messages are popping up because we're inside Sarabai's mind. So it is a simulation of sorts. Welcome to the internal messaging system. The 0.4 users Sarabai. You have 300 messages. Cannot access. Not goodbye. Open message. Not goodbye. From Hypatia to Sarabai. Not goodbye. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm writing this. In all likelihood, you can't even read this because so little of your consciousness is left and what's left of your battery is dying. They say it's impossible to recover you and the backups are all destroyed. I wish we'd backed ourselves up in New Jerusalem before we left. Space was so limited and would have had to wait so long. Except of course it's nothing compared to the empty years that stretch before me now. I don't have the words to express what you mean to me. I tried to sum it all up, to say something elegant and beautiful and perfect, and I can't. Maybe it can't be said. Maybe it only exists as days and years lived together, a sequence of moments bound together like a string of lights, defying the darkness of the sky. I don't know. All I know is that this is not goodbye. It may be the end of you, of us, of who I was, but I will not say goodbye. Love you forever, Hypatia. Alright, so we're definitely going up there at some point. I have to imagine recovering these 16 fragments is only part 1. Alright, number 5. Chain.
Looking back, it's embarrassing how solipsistic I became. I really thought that I could construct my identity without any reference to the outside world. Like I could just will myself into existence. But it just didn't work. And it made me miserable. Everything felt hollow and meaningless, overshadowed by the idea of death. There was something I wasn't seeing, something I needed, but I couldn't figure out what it was.
Equilibrium. Oh. Alright, so I get it. These blue and red lasers are kind of like horses, and you can battle them and make
Everything
them take
changed
over
when we started spending more time with each
certain
other.
parts.
Do you remember that night when we found the old library in the Dead City? It was just after the stampede, and we were all a bit shaken up. Byron read to us from one of the books, and later, you and I started arguing
Domino
about one of the
effect.
poems. And your perspective was so different and interesting, and I just kept wanting to hear more.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just all about finding the
I
right
never really
place to
understood the appeal
balance.
of philosophers who tell us that everything is one. If everything is just a reflection of yourself, an endless hall of mirrors, there's nothing to connect with. And what I realized through our conversations
Concatenation.
is that everything beautiful happens in that space of connection between one person and another, and between people and the world. That gap between us is necessary. Because without it, without separation, there can be no transcendence.
Hmm. Okay. Oh. Yeah, if I use that to lengthen it, then the blue becomes less powerful. Yeah, the lasers get weaker the more nodes they go through, essentially.
Once I understood that meaning comes from the interaction of the self with the world, I found it easier to be patient, to be kind. I reminded myself that other people are just like me, and nobody really knows exactly what they're doing. And the more I allowed myself to open up, the more interesting and complex our interactions became, and the more meaningful.
We have roughly 50% of Sarabai's personality matrix reconstructed.
Who'd have thought that 1K would have made such a good necromancer?
Recover Everyday Sublime. The Everyday Sublime by A.D. Markham. Love must matter to the philosopher because it is at its core the one undisputed presence of the sublime, capital S, in our lives. even when it is failed love, unrequited love, or entirely imagined love. It is like a vast monolith towering over us, humbling, uplifting, frightening. Those who deny its presence can be safely disregarded as fools. They know it is there, they are simply afraid. But equally, the philosopher must consider that in the great matters of history, love matters not one jot. The Nazarene commanded his followers to love their enemies, but they did not, and wrote 1,000 books of excuses for this failure. Therein is revealed the purpose of the human struggle. Recover Confessions. Confessions by Penelope Heliopoulou, I think. To me, the ideal that my soul, my essence, could fall in love with another being and then maintain that love unblemished for eternity seems utterly impossible. My experience of love has been catastrophe, embarrassment, and disappointment. But this is precisely why I refuse to surrender, why I choose to believe against all precedent that I will find the one for me, and that our love will last forever. You can laugh at this absurd and contradictory belief, but it will not waver. Faith is not a matter of the past, of miracles witnessed and saints observed, but of the future that ought to be written. Pickering Manuscript. Pickering Manuscript by William Blake. Seek love in the pities of others, woe in the gentle relief of another's care, in the darkness of night and the winter's snow, in the naked and outcast, seek love there. Nine through 12. Causation Nexus.
It's funny, though, when I think about it, that I still didn't know what to call what I was experiencing. I guess love seemed like a term that only applied to our ancestors, with their hormones and instincts and strange fleshy organs. Surely we were too different to experience that. And the really funny thing is that I was thinking exactly like an ancient
Incarnation.
human child, pretending I was above it all.
Okay. Hmm. Hey. Okay. There we go.
What I'd never considered was that stripped of biological necessity and physical need, as well as all the strange stigmas and taboos our ancestors associated with their bodies, love might be more pure, more powerful. That we can love with fewer distractions than they could. And so the experience is all the more overwhelming. I do think we should learn to simulate some of those biological processes. Would be fun.
Oh, okay. I knew there'd be one
If
of
you
those.
get stuck, I've inserted some code that might help you bypass a few puzzles. It's not the most elegant work I've ever done, but it'll do the job.
Recover non nobis solum. 17 questions about reality. Cassie's screen. Cicero correctly observed that we are not born for ourselves alone. Aristotle likewise pointed out that man is a social animal. Plato's Symposium depicts characters praising the spiritual and philosophical importance of love, with Socrates arguing for the more abstract notion of learning to love the form of beauty itself, which honestly seems a little onanistic if you ask me. Jesus placed love above all other considerations, demanding that people even love their enemies. But if we all agree that love is so important, why is love so rarely taken into consideration by the system we live in? It may seem like a naive question, but think about the sheer moral and intellectual weight behind the idea that love matters. Why is our reality so out of step with our philosophy? Some of the humans expressed interest in being able to smell and taste things, which they can't right now. Okay, 2 damage to recover. Blue Note by Bailey Steele. You want to know the truth about love? Nobody knows what they're doing. It's all improv, man. It's 2 million years of people muddling through. Prophets and messiahs and philosophers declare that love is what it's all about, and we go, yeah, that's right. And then we try and we fail, and we hurt each other. And we try again, and we have moments of fucking transcendence. I imagine that's what that says. And then we think with the wrong organ, and we make a mess of everything, and on it goes, forever and ever. Amen. And you know the craziest part? You can go through all the shit that I did, End up with a body like an old rag and a brain full of holes, and still to your dying day you'll go, yeah, it was love. Love for my family, my friends, my music, and even my fucking ex-wife. It was all about love, and every time I forgot that, I fucked myself like a fucking moron. Breakthrough. There we go.
When we started living together, I thought I'd figured it all out. Everything would be smooth sailing from now on. I still had so much to learn about love. Even for us, it's messy.
Which
You
board?
find someone who seems to be the perfect match for you, who seems necessary in your life. And then you realize all the ways in which you don't fit together at all. Because nothing in this world is perfect.
Oh, fuck. How do I... Okay, there we go.
The ancients believed that love could be eternal. But I'll admit that sometimes it seemed impossible to continue. Sometimes I thought you were unfair, or cruel, or just incomprehensible. I'm sure you thought the same about me. And I'm sure that sometimes you were right. No wonder all the ancient love songs repeat the same themes. Longing, happiness, regret, and forgiveness. I want you. I love you. I miss you. Forgive me.
Extension. Okay, they're all behind glass. Oh, okay, so if I close this off, there we go.
The worst thing I came to realize as I grew older is there are so many ways to hurt other people. Even without any malice, even when you're just trying to be yourself, you end up doing things that cause real harm. You can read every ethical philosopher in the world and you still won't be able to avoid it. Because that's just how we are. Our interactions with each other can't be fully reduced to some abstract system.
Data stream. Ow. I know what I need to do. There we go. Yeah, I had to extend this one by a little bit.
The fact that perfection in our interactions is impossible was a hard lesson for me to learn. For the longest time, I always thought the answer was right around the corner. And to be fair, we did learn how to live together without constantly running into problems.
Flow
But
control.
gradually, I realized that the friction would never stop.
Oh.
Because what makes us unique also makes us different. There can be no endpoint to love, no final resolution. And it's because of that imperfection that it can go on forever.
Okay. Okay, red is over there. Okay, so blue has to go through here. Now green. That's fun.
There's a pattern that I noticed in all the ancient poetry that I read. Young poets would praise love as the only true meaning of life. Middle-aged poets would often disagree. They would argue that love is messy, ugly, selfish, and hard to distinguish from lust. They would mock their younger selves for thinking love so incredibly important, and look for answers elsewhere or reject answers altogether. And then, arriving at old age, they would return to the beginning and realize it was all about love after all.
Message 504. My patient to Sarabai. I miss you. It's not that I need to be around you every minute of every day, but talking about our experiences together has become such an essential part of how I interact with the world that your absence is a huge void. I feel unbalanced and events seem less real when I haven't discussed them with you. Maybe that sounds clinical and selfish, but I'm trying to explain something that I felt incredibly strongly this last month. We're better together in a way that's more like multiplication than addition. It's not just you and me, it's us. When you get back, let's go connect. Howard's End by E.M. Forster. It did not seem so difficult. She need trouble him with no gift of her own. She would only point out that the salvation that was latent in his own soul and in the soul of every man. Only connect. That was the whole of her sermon. Only connect the prose and the passion, and both will be exalted, and human love will be seen at its height. Live in fragments no longer. Only connect, and the beast and the monk, robbed of the isolation that is life to either, will die. Nor was the message difficult to give. It need not take the form of a good talking. By quiet indications, the bridge would be built and span their lives with beauty. But she failed. Carlyle. Death of Goethe by Thomas Carlyle. Precious is the new light of knowledge which our teacher conquers for us, yet small to the new light of love which also we derive from him. The most important element of any man's performance is the life he has accomplished. Under the intellectual union of man and man, which works by precept, lies a holier union of affection, working by example, the influences of which latter, mystic, deep-reaching, all-embracing, can still less be computed. For love is ever the beginning of knowledge, as fire is of light, and works also more in the manner of fire. Propagation cancellation. Okay. Propagation cancellation. Hmm. Okay, so it was called propagation cancellation, correct? Okay. Okay. Do something up here. Hmm. Okay, so I need to do this. I need to block some of these. If I can block this. Hmm. Hmm. This one's really stumping me. Now, hmm. Um, King. What do I do? There we go. Okay, Jesus Christ.
But even love has a context, and the happiness of those who surround us can lift us up, just like their unhappiness can drag us down. As we improved New Jerusalem, things got better between us in subtle ways that affected every interaction.
Yes, very tough.
Our flaws never went away. But as the world around us became more forgiving, we became more capable of forgiving each other. That's why I was excited about New Alexandria.
We're almost there. Just one more file. This one may be harder to extract than the others.
Okay. Oh boy. Heart of Anubis. And I've only got 2. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Banned. Oh, fuck. There we go. So yeah, I had to use these to block everything around the green and red so that the red and the green would stay contained. And then by them canceling each other out would allow the blue to spread to the places it needed to.
When I saw the explosion coming, I knew it was the end. My end. The power plant was gone. The backup center was collapsing. The street was cracking open. And the fireball was about to engulf me. In that millisecond, I shut down every process except my mind. I turned off my audio-visual input. I rerouted all of my power, pushed my processor to the breaking point. Time slowed down. I didn't think about regret. I didn't think about death. I spent every last moment I could scrape together thinking about you.
You did it. Come to the extraction point and I'll pull you out.
This is odd. We have Sarabai's complete memory archive, but there's still some file fragments left in the system.
Well, you can look for them if you want to, 1K. I know you're always curious, but what matters is that we've got Sarabai.
Oh boy. Okay. So, wait, are they down here? Oh, okay, they are back here. Okay. Hysteresis. Yeah, there they are. Oh. A. Okay, so I need them to... Okay, so I know what I need to do. I need it so that when this gets cut off at one end, blue will take over. Hmm. Okay. Okay, I know what I need to do. Just how do I go about doing it? Okay. Okay, so Okay, I'm trying to think this through. I know what I need. I know what the output is going to look like. I just have to figure out how to get there. Now, I'm missing something. Let's try another one. Clockwork. Okay, so these have to go, they have to keep, they have to interfere with each other to the point. Okay, so yeah, they've got to set up a certain pattern. I'm just experimenting with them, trying to figure it out. Okay, so maybe I have to manually start it and then it'll go on its own. Alright, so I need to set it up so that when one of these turns on, it causes something that also causes it to turn itself off. And to switch to the next one in the cycle. So blue activates. Okay, I'm trying to think this through. Okay, so when that happens... Okay, so now once I leave this... Okay, let me see if I can determine something if I have all three. Gotta be some arrangement. Kind of like this. Alright, now let's take a look at this last one. Step by step. Okay, so I see what I have to do. Okay, now it's powering itself. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, what do I... Ah, fuck, my controller keeps... Hmm. I can't bring any of them around there, so what do I do here? Okay, so I have to have everything set up when I come in here. Oh, there's nothing I can do to... Alright, let's try this one more time. Then it's been long enough that I'm gonna call it for tonight. Alright, so there can't be any beams in the middle. I've identified that much. Yeah, okay, come on, think. I know what hysteresis is. It moves to one position and gets stuck there. I need to set it up that when one of these beams gets cut off, the other one takes over and will hold it until it gets cut off. Oh, wait. Is that it? I could have sworn I did this before. Must have not got it quite right. Alright. Oh.
This is peculiar. I'm not sure what this file is.
It's not part of Sarabai's memory archives. And the timestamps are completely broken.
I think I could reconstruct it if I had more data.
Good news for you, 1K. More puzzles.
Okay. Okay. Fuck. Okay. That's exactly the pattern that I want. so we'll activate the blue. So I think I need to route it. So blue goes here. It's routed like that. Okay, so the red one is also... Blue one then be connected to... That's connected to blue. That's connected to red and blue, so this needs to be connected to red and green. Okay, so I need the beams to all cross exactly once. Yeah, that's the pattern I need. Hey. I need this triangle. Oh, there we go. Alright, this one's activates green, but it's also connected to blue. That's the next one in chain. And this should... Okay, the question is, how do I transfer this? Hmm. Okay, it's fully connected to green and red. Oh, this will be fully connected to blue and green. Outright. All right, one more. Alright, fuck it. That's it. I'm done for tonight, and I'm gonna be taking a break from this for a little bit. Wait a second. Alright, well, that's it. So yeah, I'm done for tonight. I'll be back this weekend with A Link to the Past and Elden Ring. Gonna aim to finish A Link to the Past before the new year. We'll see. But, oh, hey Rose, there you go. But I want to make some progress on those, so I may put a pause on this, especially since I'm running up against particularly tough puzzles. Now, it's probably a good idea to come back at it with a fresh perspective after a ways away. That may help. So yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night, and have a good Friday, good weekend, good Christmas, vacation, whatever. Bye-bye.